Hello everyone, Penny here from the Junk Journal Ministry, and that's just Penny. And I told you that I was going to show you how to create this cover and the special spine design. It is a ring bound, yes, but also has, I called it an accordion because there's also accordion spine that you can use for hinges. Here I am going to show you about how to create the hinge spine for your rings. Here I have the design template already ready, printed on 110-pound cardstock, and I'm going to cut this out. If you do not want to print out and use the decorative ones, then you can print and cut out the template and then trace it onto whatever paper that you want. For the printed designed templates that I have for you, you will need to cut away the black line. However, for the blank white templates, you will need to leave the black line. You will also need to make sure that you print your pieces all the same percentage. Usually with my kits, it is landscape as is. Do not fill the page. Do not increase it. Here I have some unbleached cotton muslin cloth. It is the cream color. It is the natural one. It's all organic natural fabric. I'm going to cut two little pieces to give my journal the hinge spine that we're going to create, to give it some layer and to leave that little fabric like you see. I don't know what they call that fabric on the edges of books, but this is what I'm going to create using this cloth. So I'm just going to cut two little pieces, and then I decide that it was too much, so I'm going to cut those in half, and then I'm going to fold those and glue those to the inside spine. Once I have all of that there, I'm going to set that over to dry. Now I have the design hinge spine template, and I'm going to do the score marks. There are three or four marks already printed on the template, but if you use this one here, you need to check the blank template to make sure, the white one, to make sure that you have scored all of the lines, because here I'm scoring the ones that's on the printed design hinge spine template, and then I forgot to actually do the last two scorings. So you will see me go back to this piece and do the last scorings on each side, the left and right side. From the edge, I have to score a ½ inch, and you'll see me do that. Once that I have my scoring done, I'm going to fold and press those with my bone folder so that that gives me a nice crisp fold. I'm going to do this for the both of the edges of the hinge spine. Now that I have scored all that lines, and I'm making sure that the back two pieces come together and it forms a triangle. Do you see that? Or a pyramid? See how I'm putting the two back pieces together, making a line. I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to glue on the last ½ inch. That is going to be glued to the second ½ inch, just like that. Now this is just to stabilize it. It's not going to stay like that. So if you can see here, I'm making the triangle or the pyramid. Now I'm not gluing the top hinge part, the little peak. I'm not gluing that. I'm just gluing the first ½ inch and the second ½ inch on each side together. This is just to stabilize it because I want those two pieces to meet in the middle in the back of the hinge spine. and making sure that that edge is glued down just a little bit. So I'm just using my bone folder because I want a nice crisp edge there. And I will do the same thing. I still want those two to meet in the middle though. Here I am making sure that the hinge spine that is folded into like a triangle or a pyramid, I'm making sure that I am lining it up with the spine so that I can have enough clearance. I need at the top, it to be open. I don't need that hinge at the very top, the peak there. I do not need it glued, or I just need it totally open so that I can put the rings through there. So I'm lining it up, just making sure top and bottom, making sure it's going to fit. And if you can see here, I am going to get my ruler and I'm going to punch the holes in this hinge spine, opened. I guess I could call it an open hinge spine. I want to measure to get in the middle of this so I can punch my holes correctly. Now here I am going to come down from the top. I'm looking at the middle and I'm thinking, okay, well I can mark the middle, but really and truly I'm thinking about marking it here. So I'm marking the middle, but then I want to make sure that I have a 1/2 inch from the top and a 1/2 inch from the bottom to mark my 3 holes. And then I'm going to go back and readjust the middle hole. Now that all my holes are punched, I'm going to grab my glue and I'm going to glue on the left side there. This is the back. This is that piece that we glued together earlier. I want to make sure that the glue is spread out and there's no humps and bumps because I don't want anything to be under there. I'm going to glue this to the edge of the spine, but I'm going to leave just a little bit of space so that the spine can show through. So the edge of the spine, there's going to be like 2 centimeters or something there, and I'm going to line up that hinge spine. I'm going to line it up top and bottom, and I'm going to make sure now I'm going to move on over to the right side. Like, again, making sure that I'm stretching out this open hinge spine. I'm making sure. I called it an accordion no-sew spine, but I may go back and change its name. But anyway, there is an accordion template if you want to create more hinges so that you can sew it in or so that you can glue your hinges together. But this is an open hinge spine. So I may go back and fix the name of this Junk Journal Playbook. So I'm just making sure that the hinge is opened and it's not glued shut. I just glued the 2. Here you can see the open hinge spine. Now I'm going to move on to cover up the spine glue tabs. I don't have to cover them up. I can leave them, but because I chose to use white copy paper and just stressed it, I need to cover that up. And this adds extra protection. Plus, it gives a pocket. Plus, it covers up those glue tabs from the spine. So I'm just using what I had, the templates, the pre-designed templates. I'm cutting away the black line. And I'm just going to glue these in to make pockets. And then I'm going to actually start working on the front cover. So we're still on the inside cover. We're going to put some pockets in, then we're going to flip over. We're going to distress it. We're going to make sure that the spine and the open hinge spine is actually glued and adhered and dried before I start putting my rings in. This continues part 3. Please stay tuned for the remaining parts of this tutorial. Have a good day.